Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Songs and Memories, where for a 28-day video challenge, I'm going to talk about a song a day, and I'm going to talk about a memory it gave me. Now, for the second last day of the video challenge, I'm going to be talking about another Radiohead song, Optimistic. Now, I always liked Radiohead, but when I heard their albums, it kind of threw me off. Like, the first album I bought was OK Computer, which I talked about in the Albums and Memories, the very first Albums and Memories video I did. And I talked about how it was like I was excited, I had these expectations, and then I heard it all the way through, and I'm like, this this isn't what I thought it would be. Like, I really like it, but this isn't how I thought it would be. And then the next album I bought was The Bend, and that was a couple of years later, and I'm like, okay, now I know what to expect from Radiohead. And then I was like, oh my god, this the band is exactly, and I mean exactly how I thought OK Computer was going to be like. Like, I'm like, wait, there's guitars here. There are a lot of the guitars are really crunchy and prominent. And it's like, oh my god, this is I don't know what to think anymore. I should have just bought the Bends first and then OK Computer. And then after a while, I finally bought Kid A, and out of all the albums I bought by them, with the exception of a Moon-Shaped Pool, the King of Limbs threw me off, but not in the best way. But we're gonna get to that later. When I heard Kid A, it was the first of two albums I've ever bought, ever, and I'm gonna explain this more. I ever bought Kid A and Amnesiac were the only two albums I ever bought in my entire CD collection where I didn't hear a single song. Like, not one single song. At least with everything I ever had, I listened to at least a couple of songs beforehand because of radio, or I just listened to it on YouTube or whatever. But Kid A was both those albums were the first albums I ever bought without listening to a single song. And eventually I heard the song Optimistic, and I really like it. And it just reminded me of playing Halo 5 online. And yeah, the whole album just reminds me of playing Halo 5 online. Or is it Halo Wars? I'm not sure. It was a Halo game, and I just remember playing it online constantly, and the song just popped in my head. And when I was making the list, I'm like, well, the second song was a Radiohead song, so why don't I make the second last song a Radiohead song? And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna talk about Optimistic. I've said optimistic enough times in the Pearl Jam Fixer video and the Tones of Home video. Sorry, I'm tongue-tied. But yeah, and it's just that I really like the studio version. Now, the thing is, this song actually is it actually kind of is personal to me now. Like, I always liked the song, but back in 2016, the election was happening, and I, the whole spiel about Donald Trump getting elected and whatnot, without going into too much. Um, I was kind of scared because everybody was scared. A lot of people were scared, and the thing was, I didn't know what to do because I was disappointed. I was I was pretty much scared because they said that the end of the world would happen if Donald Trump got elected, and then I I woke up the next morning and the world was still around. I'm like, oh well, I have to go to work now. Like, I was disappointed like at that. And like, I was like, okay, the world is gonna. People kept saying the world is gonna end if Donald Trump got elected, and yet we're still here. The next day I wake up and we're still here, and everything looks fine outside. I'm like, then what the hell's the point? I thought the world was gonna end. Now I have to go to work. Odd. And that kind of pissed me off. That honestly pissed me off. And so the morning I got up, I just decides, you know what, I'm just going to listen to Radiohead's Optimistic just to, because the title was there, so I might as well. And then it wasn't a studio version, but it was the 8-bit version I heard that got to me. Like it was, yeah, exactly what it meant. 8-bit, there's no vocals, no guitar, no drums, no like bombastic drums or drums in general. It was just 8-bit, 8-bit, not 8-bit, but it was just like 8-bit version of Optimistic, and I thought it was really beautiful because it was just less is more. It was just a less is more quality, and I remember just that song. Like I was on my way to work, I was walking, and I was about to cross the street on the traffic light, and the song was playing in my head because it was back when I still had my MP3. It was playing in my head, and I'm just looking around and just going, I need to do something, and the song is just playing. I'm like, okay. And the moment I started crossing the street, I just think I just need to do something. I just need to do something for people just to like get myself out there a little bit and just you know making people happy. Because work I'm not gonna do that at work because I'm just there to work. So I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna bring back the music video show. And at this point, it was pretty much November, and I was pretty much done for about 2 years. Um, and it was only out of its second season, and I was supposed to do a third season that was 13 episodes long, and that was it. But I shot a few episodes for the third season, but it never came up to pass. I just wasn't interested. And then that morning, with that song playing, I was like, I should bring it back. And that's why this song is actually kind of sentimental to me because, or kind of personal to me because it actually just, it just inspired me a little bit to just put some videos out there and get people to start watching and just make people laugh in general or just talk in general. There are people out there who were scared of when Donald Trump was elected and they used art. They just used art and music and books and whatever. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna put something out there and just do comedy. And that's why the third season comes from. It just came from the third season is one of my favorite seasons, and then like the third and the fourth season back to back are my favorite seasons. Just because it came from a very good place. I mean, sure, the fourth season is a bit darker in terms of my show. I got that, but I had fun. Like before the fifth season kind of shit the bed, and I was a wreck. The third and fourth seasons were pretty much my personal, not personal gift, but something I put out there just for people to watch, and people did watch. And for those of you who are watching right now, I want to say thank you. Thank you for watching this. Thank you for like supporting my channel, even though not many people do. And I know there are people out there who are like, you know, better at me at this, but sometimes you need that cult following, and I appreciate all the views, even though it's not that much, but I appreciate it because it's better than nothing. Like, I started this channel in this room, and this bass guitar was with me all this time in this room. These two things were always with me in this room. The poster wasn't. This was bought years ago, but you know what? It's consistency. Like the drawer was here. This these two things were here from high school. This bass guitar was here. Oh, and this thing, which I showed before, the metal. Yeah, it's been here since for years, but this room's pretty much been the same with a few exceptions. Um, just and this thing I'm sitting on has been here the whole time, just sitting on it. So yeah, just Optimistic by Radiohead, specifically like both the studio version and the 8-bit version are just my personal things, and I want to tell you guys thank you for watching. Just thank you for watching, and just support my channel if you have any questions, concerns, stories, or whatever. Because this is my first time doing something like this, just putting out an episode every day as opposed to 30 episodes of 30 videos in one day, which I shouldn't like. Looking back right now, I could have just kept working on the fifth season. Just whenever I actually finished a video and it was fine, the next day I would release that video and just kept going and going, instead of just putting it all in one day and like apparently getting people to panic. Like 30 episodes, that's fine. It's just that not in one day. Maybe one video a day, but not in one day. But I'm getting off track. Optimistic just reminds me of coming back to this. And even though I lost some of my momentum, I just want to get it back, and I just want to get things up to you. And yeah, you hear a noise, and I'm sorry. That was my garage. But I want to say thank you for this, and I will see you another time. Take care.